All right. How are you all doing? We're back. It's the Give Him Six podcast episode. I don't know if it's episode 50 or 49 or what, but we're getting close to a half a hundred episodes.
Yeah, for real. The
Pretty
100th
good.
episode will be very cool. We'll probably get to around probably basketball season next year.
Yeah.
Maybe football season.
Yeah. Here, let's turn Carson up a little bit in the. Yeah, say something again, Carson, for the listeners.
Testing.
Yeah, there we go. Now we got you going in there. Okay. Yep. Whenever we do the 100th episode, we'll see what we do. We'll do something special for that, like really special, because that's a pretty big deal. All right,
Yeah.
we're just gonna dive right in because on the live stream there's not a lot to say today. It's just sports and more sports as seen on the live stream title. Um, Again, we don't really have an official sponsor for this episode, but that's okay. It's just a little episode to pass time here. All right, let's go ahead and get started. You ready, Cars?
Yep.
Say something again.
Testing.
Again.
Testing.
One more time.
Testing.
All right. Hello and welcome to the Give 'Em Six podcast, the podcast where we talk about Tennessee and American sports. It's Elijah.
It's Carson.
And we are back. This is episode, I don't know how many now, but
50, 49, whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Cars, how are you doing today?
Doing good. Been watching NBA lately. The lottery came out. It's been pretty cool.
Yep. We don't have a lot going on in Tennessee sports, but NBA is really popping right now. And actually, first thing I want to talk about, we'll just go ahead and dive right in since it's gonna be a shorter episode anyway. I want to talk about Grant Williams. He's gonna make his decision Saturday, so we'll keep you updated on that.
Yeah, that will depend if he gets drafted or not.
Right. And we'll be keeping you updated on that. Probably a blog post or something. I'm going to be at the beach Saturday, so we'll see how that works out. But we'll definitely have you guys updated on that. Have that all caught up for you guys. Next thing with Tennessee baseball is up to number 23. Oh, after winning against Texas Tech. Yeah, they're doing really good. We got some great pitching prospects. This is one of the first years where we've really had a good chance of doing really well in Tennessee baseball. It used to be like this every year a long time ago, but Tennessee sports as a whole has really declined since then.
All sports.
Yeah, all sports. I mean, from the chess club to the football team.
Yeah.
And speaking of the little teams like the Tennessee Chess Club, actually, Cars, do you know what Tennessee golf is rated right now?
No.
Right now, the NCAA regionals are going on. Golf is, guess what it is? They're ranked.
5th.
No? They're number, wait. Yeah, they are 5th. Dang it.
I knew it.
Yeah. They were 6th, but they're 5th now. Yep, they're 5th. It's the NCAA regional finals, so yeah, we'll be keeping you updated on that as well. Another thing with Elijah, not me, Elijah Simmons, he is a defensive lineman commit for Tennessee, great prospect. So he got exempt from his exams, and then he was like, if I get exempt from my exams, he said this a while back, he said, I'm going to go out and I'm going to have a slam dunk, literally. So he grabbed the basketball, did a slam dunk, and was super excited that he could actually dunk the basketball. By the way, he's like 6 feet and like 300 pounds. So that's an achievement. And then he goes to the opposite end, 90 feet away, to celebrate the slam dunk and shoots it and makes it. So defensive lineman. I don't know, maybe more like a forward. I mean, no, I'm kidding. Um, Cars. Next thing we got up. It's what you've been wanting to talk about. The
Mm-hmm.
NBA playoffs.
Yep, the NBA playoffs. We got the NBA lottery here. The NBA playoffs. We'll get to that first. Rockets, my team, got putting out by the Warriors.
Yep.
When we lost that home game, or when we lost that, we were tied 2-2. Went to the Warriors. We lost that game. I kind of felt like they would come to the Rockets. I feel like they would come to us and beat us. So they beat us 4-2. Um, so now it's down to the Trailblazers and the Warriors. Warriors won game one the night before last.
Yep.
On the East side, you saw how the Raptors, Kawhi Leonard made that last second buzzer beater to win this series, which was crazy. It was a
That's an unexpected
crazy
team
going.
that you'd have in
Yeah,
there.
especially with Kyle Lowry. Kawhi Leonard
Yeah.
going to the Raptors after getting traded for um, after getting traded. He went from the Spurs to the Raptors, and he didn't really like it there. So it's kind of been tough. Yeah, it's because they gave DeMar DeRozan up. So
Yeah.
it was a weird trade over that summer, and there'll be a lot of trades this summer too. But
Yeah, of
it's
course.
them versus the Bucks. The Bucks are going to be a hard team to beat. I think since the Bucks won last night, they're up 1-0. That'll be a hard team to beat the Bucks, especially with Giannis. So it'll be a good conference finals for each side.
Yep, it definitely will. Um, Cars, who's your prediction for? Well, I don't know if I want to say the winner of it all, but what do you think will be the last two teams?
The Bucks and the Warriors, and I think this year, I think the Warriors will beat the Bucks in the championship, but I think it'll be close. I think it can come 4-2,
All right.
like the Rocket series. So I can see the Bucks winning the first two games of that series. I can see a lot of things.
I think that I think it'll be the same thing, Bucks and Warriors. I think that the Warriors are really going to shut the Bucks down just because I don't know. To me, it just seems like that would be more likely. But you know what? I have to say, Cars, you're a lot more knowledgeable with basketball than I am. Cars, another NBA thing. We've got the NBA draft lottery. Let's talk on
Right.
that.
Recently, just the NBA draft lottery, you have the teams throughout the year. The worst teams, they get a higher percentage. They get the number one pick in the draft. This time, the Pelicans, they had about an 8.9% chance to get the number one pick. They get the number one pick. Obviously, they'll pick Zion. Next is Memphis. So Memphis Grizzlies got the Memphis got the number two pick, and they'll need that. They'll probably get John Morant.
Yep.
Next is the New York Knicks with probably getting R.J. Barrett for the third pick. So that could flip flop. John Morant from Murray State and R.J. from Duke could flip flop. R.J. could go to Memphis, or not Memphis Grizzlies. Um, so they could flip flop easily. They're both really good skill players.
Yep, for sure.
Not even.
Who would you say that your top draft prospects are, excluding Zion and JA?
Um, well, obviously RJ. Now I think with Taco Fall, um, he's not going to be a big top pick. He's going to go late first round, early second. With him being
Right.
7'8", which he measured today, um, it's crazy. He's just a force. He's not that athletic. He's not that good, but he's just a force in the paint. I mean, imagine trying to drive in with a 7-foot guy just standing there in the paint. He doesn't even
Dang.
have to block you. He's already there.
He just stands there. Yeah.
So
Crazy.
with him being there like that, it'd be a big force of nature. Now, you're gonna have, if you look at Tennessee with Admiral Grant and Bone, I think Bone's gonna get drafted. late first, maybe middle second, early second. I can see everything. Admiral, I think, won't get drafted, but I think he'll be picked up by a free agent team, and I think Grant Williams will get drafted in the second round. Sadly, I'd like to see him come back, but I could
I
see
yeah.
an NBA team definitely looking at those two SEC Player of the Year awards. And like me and Elijah talked about last week about how the SEC Player Awards, now they'll look at them, but does the NBA teams really pick him up because of that? Yeah, I think so. I think now it's going to come down to that, and they're going to want him.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. And I did see this. This was really interesting. I forget who it was. I think it was oh gosh, it was either a reporter for the Athletic or a reporter for ESPN. But they had Admiral Schofield as the number 23 um, top prospect, and
Yeah,
I was I was surprised by that.
yeah, and it's surprising, but I can see it, but I don't think it's going to happen.
No, I don't think it will either.
A lot of people can see him getting drafted. Do I think that he will be?
All right, guys, we have some technical difficulties here.
He really could be a good NBA player.
Yeah, he definitely could be he would be a good NBA player. He's just not quite on those guys' level, and I hate to say that because I love him as a player, and I want to see him come back, but that's not possible because he's a senior. But you know, I was just looking on an article, sportingnews.com or sportsnews.com. They had Grant Williams number 23, so that's surprising to me that they would be, they
I
would
could see
have an
him going a
article.
little early. Yeah.
Yeah,
What position? I don't know. It's gonna be a confusing thing for them because he's he's really, like we talked about, small forward center. He can't really play any of that in the NBA, so it's gonna be pretty cool to see him. Now he could be like a Paul Millsaps. Paul Millsaps is a kind of a shorter center. He can also play small forward, but he lost some weight, but he's kind of chunky. He's like Grant Williams. But Grant Williams, he could lose a little bit more weight. But we'll see him
right.
in the combine now. The combine is a huge deal this summer because NBA scouts are going to look at this combine to see if they can play the position and if they should move or not. And at the combine, they choose if they want to keep you on their team or not. So they draft Grant Williams, uh, fifth pick of the second round. Say it's the Trailblazers. Trailblazers take him to the combine. He's doing drills. He's doing stuff like they do for the NFL combine. So he's doing jumping, agility drills. He's also playing 5-on-5 with
Right.
people. Um, they look at him and they go, no, he's not any position that we can work with. They go, hey, come back next time. That's the new rule college made is you can go try out. Even if he was to get drafted here by the Trailblazer or any team in the NBA, and he goes to the combine and he gets let go off of a team, he's technically not played on that team yet. If
Right.
he, because technically he's signed up for the NBA, he's in the NBA agency right now. And
Right.
if he didn't even get drafted, he'd definitely get picked up by a team, and they'd still take him to the NBA combine. So
Right.
it's until he's actually officially on a team, he signs a contract, he does all that. So he'll have to do good in the combine. But I'd like to see him come back. He should definitely stay another year or
If he
do something.
stayed, if he stayed another year, for one thing, there's a lot of really good people in the NBA draft this year. I
Mm-hmm.
think if he
Yeah.
stays another year, he would be a likely candidate for SEC Player of the Year again,
Again,
which would boost him. He'd be I think
right.
the only player to ever get 3-time SEC Player of the Year award, and he would grow as a player. He'd grow as a dude, and then he'd come
Our
back to the
team would
NBA
our
draft. I
team
think
would
he would get a
grow.
higher pick in the NBA draft, maybe be a first round draft pick after next year.
Yeah, we would have Lamonte back, Jordan Bowden back, Grant Williams if he came back.
We'd have a good Tennessee team.
We have another good Tennessee team. Not saying if Grant doesn't come back, we won't. I mean,
We'll have a
Jordan
pretty good
Bowden
team.
and Lamonte and new guards coming in, and
Yeah.
we got Fulkerson, and so yeah, you know, it could work out either way. It's just whatever is best for him. That's what I want for him.
Yeah, for sure. And I think though, if I was in his position and I knew that I could get drafted, I would go to the draft because you go to the draft and they're looking you over and you're kind of like, you know what? If I get drafted, I can be making a lot more money as, you know, if I had stayed, I would it's not that I wouldn't be making money, but there's just it makes more sense for him to go to the draft. It really
Yeah,
does.
and you know something that's really cool. One of the best players in the NCAA that played, um, Cassius Winston from Michigan State.
Yep.
He decided he was pretty much the only one that's a top five player in basketball. It was Zion, RJ, PJ Washington, Grant, and Cassius Winston are those top five players right now in that last year. And he decided to stay. And people asked him, why? Why would you choose to stay? He could go first round pick. He'd go early first round. I mean, Cassius Winston was an amazing player
Right.
for Michigan State, and he decides to stay this year. And he wants the championship. He wants to be with his team again. Some people have heart like that. I'm not saying these people going to the draft don't have heart.
Well,
I mean,
we're not going to
if you
win a
got guys
championship
that
next
say
year. Just
if you got a guy saying if you got a manager and he's saying you're gonna make if you sign with him even second round you're making at least 500 something $1,000 just
right.
off the bat, and then
Are
your
you making
contract's
that
gonna be
much in
escalated.
are you
College?
are you making
No,
that
you
much in
ain't making
college? You're not making
squat in
anything.
college.
You might make a tiny bit from a little
So
job. You're getting a little bit of bonus from some things,
so
but that's
to a
it.
so to a college student, $500,000 and even more. What does that mean to them?
So
That
much.
and
I mean, that's
they're
that's
gonna
a
take him.
house. That's a lot of financial security right there.
Even if you say that you're on an NBA team,
Yep.
and it's a no-brainer, no-brainer.
Exactly. I would make the same decision. I'm not blaming him. Anyone who's still bashing him for going to the draft, I saw someone the other day bashing Jordan Bone for going to the draft. Excuse me. Come on, guys. Like, put yourself in their shoes. I mean,
Right.
these dudes have worked really hard to get to this place, and if they want to go to the draft, let them go to the draft. You know.
Yeah, and especially Jordan Bone, he should have gone to the draft. That player, he's going to be a good player in the NBA.
I agree. I think he's gonna be a really good player. All right. Um, Carson, anything else you want to say about the NBA draft before we move on?
No.
All right. Something that I found interesting. It's a NCAA college baseball thing. We don't talk a lot about NCAA college baseball, but I thought we would today because I saw this article, and guess where I saw this article, y'all? From our own sports news page, powered by ESPN, on our website. Check that out. Go to our website, click on sports news, and it'll give you updates on every single sport. I don't think we've promoted it before, but it's seriously helpful. I'll go there and I can find tons of sports news on every single sport, tons of subjects. It's totally worth it, guys. Go check it out. But anyway, pitcher Nicole Newman set the new NBA record. He had, I think it was what was it? Let's see. Was it seven? Or no, it was five perfect games this season, and the season's
Yeah.
not even over. I mean, that's incredible to me. You know?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
That's very hard to do in college baseball.
for sure. Like I mean, I even play like with the kids in my neighborhood and stuff. We have little tournaments all the time, and that's one thing that like I'm a pitcher, and I can't even have a perfect game against the freaking kids in my neighborhood. I can't even strike my little brothers out, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I can, but not every time. Like, that's ridiculous. I mean, good for him, so congratulations for him. Also, after the Nuggets and Blazers, little skirmish there, there's no suspensions. And you know, well, oh yeah. So right now for you guys, I thought we would do this because some of you guys are watching the live stream, and the Atlanta Braves game is going on. They're playing the St. Louis Cardinals, and we need to give you guys some updates on the game because that's important to us. Right now, it's the bottom of the sixth, 1-5 Atlanta Braves. So there you go. If you guys
Atlanta
wanted
won
updates on
last
that,
night.
they
They got
did.
dominated first game by St.
Oh
Louis,
gosh.
but we dominated
Yeah.
them, holding them to nothing
Yeah.
last night.
Tehran, I think, is pitching today. He's, for lack of better words, been hot and cold, mostly cold. I'm not a huge fan of Tehran. I think my favorite pitcher this time is gonna be, what's his name? Is it? It's Martin. Is it
Yeah,
Martin?
we've
Yeah.
had some pitcher problems.
But Martin this year, I mean, he came up the other day and just went like 1, 2, 3 with bases loaded, didn't allow any runs. I mean, that's amazing to me. That dude
Yeah,
gets my respect,
yeah,
especially with the
I
crappy
mean, we
bullpen
have
like we've got.
decent pitchers. It's just we've had some problems with the pitching in the last couple of games, and
Yep.
almost kind of the whole season.
Oh yeah, for sure. And yeah, bullpen problems for the Braves, really for a lot of other teams too. But that's no excuse. I mean, there's been Kimbrel chance for a while. At this point, we need more than just a closer. But you know, that's how baseball is sometimes. Anyway, guys, also something that we've done recently is we've released some of our background music on Spotify and on iTunes and on SoundCloud and literally everywhere else music is found. And we said the first person to follow us on Spotify was going to get a shout out. And this guy followed us on Spotify and Twitter. We got a new good old fan here, Austin Brown. Shout out to Austin Brown. If you guys see his profile on Twitter or go to our followers and see him, follow him back. I mean, this dude's really cool. Nice Vols fan, living in Tennessee. So yeah, shout out to him. Thanks, man, if you're listening. We appreciate you following us. And for all the other listeners, make sure to keep on following us because we do follower shout outs. It's a big thing for us. Um, Cars, anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up here?
So pretty much just keep on watching Tennessee football, keep on watching the basketball news. We'll try to do an episode every week. It's some people have been wondering. They're like, well, last summer you guys didn't make but like an episode every 2 or 3 weeks. We'll make one every week. We want to keep you guys updated on all the sports news. I know it's kind
Right.
of a dead period here for Tennessee sports, and it's kind of a dead period almost for all sports except for the NBA. But we're going to give you one every week, no matter if it's short episode or long, about all the news that's happened in the week. We
That's
want
right.
you guys to know, and we want you guys to still hear us because you guys enjoy us. If there's a week that sometimes that we won't have one, we always tweet it out and say we won't be having one this week.
Be watching our Twitter and Facebook because you'll get a lot of news there.
Yeah, and Elijah post the day before or the week before our episode on what day we'll do it and what time. Usually we have them on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays, we used to have them on Mondays and Tuesdays, but we're kind of leaning towards the Wednesday and Thursday now.
Right.
At 9 Eastern time. So
8 Central Daylight Time.
We're having a ball with the podcast. It's been growing.
It's been fun, yeah.
We're enjoying it. It's been great this whole entire time. We're glad to break 50 episodes and can't wait for much more.
That's for sure. And check out our merch store. We don't have the new merch up yet. I don't know why. I'm gonna try to get that updated tonight actually because I want you guys to get the new merch. I know we've had some people contact me and be like, we're gonna buy merch, but when's the new merch coming out because we don't want the old logo. I'm sorry about that, guys. We're gonna get that updated as soon as possible. And we got all sorts of stuff on our merch stores. We got hoodies. We've got bags. We've got journals. Things that you can write down your notes on. Because I still write physical notes for the podcast because I don't want to put them on my computer and have to switch windows around. Right now I'm using 2 computers. I've got 5 windows open. I don't want another window with my notes, so I need a notebook. Where do you get a notebook? You get it from the Give 'em Six Podcast merchandise store. Give 'em 6podcast.threadless.com.
And
You guys
guys,
need to check that out.
go and buy some merch. We've had some buyers, but go and buy some. And just wear our logo around. Tell your friends about our podcast. Tell them to watch it if you love it. Let us know if you've been listening to us since SoundCloud. Tell us if you've been listening to us since we had the first episode. If you can, we will definitely shout you out, and we'll definitely talk to you more by probably text. And if you want to call us sometime, you do that. I want to know our original fan listeners.
I do too,
they're as equal as the new ones, but they're very cool for staying with us this whole time throughout the big growth that we've had since.
If you guys have stayed with us from day one, contact me. Just contact us. Give 'em 6podcast@gmail.com. So, social media, we keep our DMs open because we love it when people do that for us. So we're gonna do that for you all. So DM us, Give 'em 6podcast@gmail.com. Let us know. 100th episode, we might even have you on. I mean, that's a huge deal if you've been listening since the beginning.
Yeah, we've gone from family listening to us talk to thousands of people listening to us now all over the place.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. It's all because of everybody.
We've had over 10,000 people hear our voices since we first started. We have hundreds of weekly listeners. That's huge for us, guys. We've been on the iTunes top charts multiple times, so this growth is just really big for us. And
a lot of people to thank. A lot of people.
Yeah.
Tony Basilio, Tony Robinson.
We'll get him on. We'll get Tony Robinson and Tony Basilio on this football season stuff.
Those guys are really close friends. Me and Elijah, they've helped us through everything. We can call them right now and tell them, hey, do you want to be on an episode? Or, hey, can we talk? And they would, definitely.
Yep. Even T-Rob, he would call me sometimes. I mean, that dude's amazing. He really is. Even like people like Jason Swain, they help grow our podcast.
They have, and we should talk to them anytime. Those guys are great guys. You listen to them too. Tony Basilio, he's got his big time. You know about him radio show, and Tony Robinson is on there some. It's been amazing. It's been amazing. Those guys have helped us a lot.
Yeah, for sure, guys. There's a storm coming. It's a storm full of orange. And the Give 'em 6 podcast is always scoring touchdowns.
Thanks, everybody.
Stop the live stream.